Good evening, good morning, good whatever it happens to be, wherever you are. Welcome to our first gathering of the Internet of Everything Capstone project. Let's move to this one. Come on. So, first thing to note is we are recording all of these discussions. If you want to replay them or you want to listen to one of the other recordings which has happened previously, they'll all be posted on YouTube. Help yourself, listen to them again if you like. I'll let you know where they're actually posted as soon as I can. Sana, you just mentioned that you can't hear anything. It's all working from our side. Most of us can hear what we're saying. If you're having a problem connecting or talking, please type in the chat and someone will try and help you. Okay, first of all, apologies for the multiple every time I make a change, and please mute your microphone and voice back at the moment. Okay. Still getting the voice. So if you could just make sure you're muted. Thank you. I think that was the one. Okay. Right. Apologies for multiple invitations, but every time I make a change, WebEx decides to send out yet another invitation. So there'll be a couple more of those that will come as we add other people in. So first thing we want to do is we want to introduce the advisors that are going to be available. Hopefully, all of us will attempt to attend every session that we can. Occasionally we won't be able to, but we shall see how we go. I'll start with an introduction of me, Professor Ian Murray.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, not with me. I've got a video meeting. Well, you
right.
can't.
Can we please mute?
So if my mum wants to play it to busy.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm busy.
Okay, you'll get some help on connecting the audio in a sec. Okay, back to introduction. I'm Ian Murray. I'm Professor of Electrical and Electronic Engineering at Curtin University within the School of Electrical Engineering, Computing and Mathematical Sciences. So we deal with all kinds of things. The IoT. My area is IoT, system technology and IoT for companies. So we look at medical devices, home automation, lots of things in the area. We'll move now to, you can go next, I think.
Hi, I'm Nazan Mohammadi. I'm also a lecturer in the same school as Ian, Electrical Engineering, Computing and Mathematical Science in Curtin University. My background was teaching in the lab, so I was a lab supervisor and lab teacher for a couple of years, and then last 2 years I was a lecturer. I did lots of research on online education, and I'm hoping to answer your questions on any networking issues or technical questions you have in that area. And I'll just hand it over to Josh, if we can get Josh. Josh, I think we lost your connection.
Can you see me?
No,
we can hear you now.
Yeah, now we can.
You can hear me and see me.
Yeah.
Right, great. Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Josh Gilchrist. I'm working as a lab supervisor in the networking lab at Curtin. I've been building the demos, activities, the practical activities that you've been doing in the IoT course. And so I'm quite familiar with Tinkercad and packet tracer simulators and other things like that. And you're probably familiar with my name from the discussion boards and emails because I quite often am the one replying to those if you've had questions. I recognise a few names here from them myself, so looking forward to hearing from you all. All right, thanks. I'll pass back to you, Ian.
Okay, who else have we got on from the instructor side? Is Hannah Source of Ash available to chat? Probably not by the sound of that. I'll introduce Savash. You've probably seen his picture pop up around in this meeting. Savash is our embedded systems guru. He can help you with anything to do with the embedded systems hardware, sensor connection, and general electrical engineering problems. He'll no doubt have a chat a bit later on, and he works in the area of assistive technology. Is currently conducting a project on the monitoring and assessment of children with cerebral palsy. Is Hannes in at the moment? No? Okay, I'll do a quick introduction on Hannes. Hannes is the gentleman you would speak to if you have a programming issue. He's in our computer science area and is quite the expert on programming languages, Python, databases, that sort of area. So Hannes will be the one that will help you out with those sort of issues. Now, we really do want this to be an interactive session. We don't want to be sitting here talking at you for an hour. It's much better if you can get some questions together, start the discussions, run the discussions, but in a certain manner. So please start discussions. Feel free to enter something in the chat box if you want to attract attention. And I'll go into that in a couple of secs. If there's something that comes from these meetings that is not clear, or you've got a question to take it further, please use the email, the IoT capstone email, to contact us, and we will get back to you as quickly as we can. We will try to get back to you within 2 working days. Probably we will get back to you earlier than that. But if you don't hear within a couple of days, it means we've got a little bit busy with the many other things that we do. So just send us another reminder email so it puts it back to the top of our list. Okay, some ground rules in these sessions. There's lots of us here. We're from many different countries and cultures, which is going to be one of the good things with this. But please be polite and respectful of others. Just general, the way you would act in a normal business situation. If you don't agree with something, feel free to disagree, but do it in a respectful, polite manner. If you want to speak, please use the raise hand symbol that's near your chat box. We can then hand over the microphone to you and you can ask a question or say what you need to say. But please, let's try and take it in turns. This doesn't work very well if everyone tries to talk all at once. If you're not talking, please mute your microphone. The background noise does tend to become very distracting if we're picking up things within your house. I'm just hoping my dogs stay quiet tonight. So please mute your microphone when you're not speaking. Video is optional. You don't need to have your webcam if you have one, but you're more than welcome to, and it's nice to be able to see who we're talking to. But there is no absolute need to have video running. So what we're going to do now is we would like you to quickly introduce yourself, and I'll ask Josh to run down the list because I can't actually see it on my screen at the moment. And just say who you are, where you are, because that's going to be quite interesting to see where everyone's actually located. And very briefly, what's your idea for this project? What are you thinking of developing? And if you're unsure, ask, and we'll see if we can help sort something out for you or give you some ideas in a field you're interested in. So, Josh, would you mind running down the list, please?
Yeah, we'll go alphabetically, and if we've missed anyone at the end, we'll check. But first is Ahmed. Are you there at the moment? Welcome.
Hannes is joining us. We'll get him to introduce himself in a minute.
Nothing from Ahmed.
If you don't wish to introduce yourself or you want to stay quiet, please just, when your name is called, just type I'm okay or something just to let us know that we can skip on to the next person.
Some people may be having technical problems still. Shall we go on to Andy, if you're listening, Andy?
Hello, everyone. This is Andy. I'm not sure if you can hear me because I hear a lot of background noise as well.
We've got you, Andy.
Great stuff. So I'm based in Calgary, So it's 6 a.m. in here. I work for an engineering company specializing in oil and gas. So my idea is closely related to my work, and I'm thinking about a system to detect hazards and provide alerting and emergency monitoring for the field workers in the field on oil and gas projects. So that's just a high-level idea, and my background is in networking. So my my project will be, well, I'm looking at the project from mostly technical perspective to provide the connectivity, to the best of my abilities, and then try to look into the innovation on the sensor side.
Okay, that's really interesting. We've been doing some work with a small company here called Woodside in the mostly gas production and gas refining, and it's the same sort of thing. They've got, I'm trying to remember exactly how many, 10,000 odd sensors on their LNG plant that are being monitored. And that includes audio detection of noisy fans, so that when the fan is about to fail, they can analyse the sound it's making and send a crew out to actually repair it before it does fail. So this sort of area is really quite interesting in the automation, the predictive maintenance.
Well, that's great. Thank you very much for that feedback.
Okay, I see that Andy looks like so Ahmed looks like he's here now. Do you hear us? Or if not, we'll move on to...
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Just hear you.
Apologies, I'm actually on the road at the moment, so I'm using my Bluetooth. So yes, I'm Ahmed. I studied electronic engineering at a diploma level, and I am furthering my studies. I'm currently working at a telecommunications company, Vodacom. They're part of the Vodafone Group, and this project of mine is on my private capacity. So I'm looking at in terms of my project to track livestock because in South Africa, where I'm from, livestock theft is a very big problem, running into the hundreds of millions of them. So if we can find a solution to that, then it will greatly help the economy of South Africa. And yeah, that's everything. I hope.
Right, thanks.
Okay, that wasn't a great connection.
Oh, I could just hear it.
I got a little bit. There was Vodafone in there and telecommunications. So
yeah. Okay. Shall we say hello to Anthony next? Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So my name is Anthony. I am in Sydney for construction and supply company. My ideas are related to work and still being finalised, but they're in the area of either a weight in motion enhancement to vehicle weighing platforms or get really adventurous preventative maintenance.
All right. We heard that, but maybe if you could be a bit closer to the microphone next time. I think hopefully most people caught that.
All right, is that better?
Oh, marginal. I don't know if it's any different for other people. But did you get that? Hello, Ian?
yep.
Yeah, you caught that, did you as well?
I got some of it. It faded out a little bit, but it's going to take a little bit of practice for people to get used to speaking on this, being at the right distance from the microphone, etc. But we should improve over a little bit of time.
All right. Well, thanks, Anthony. Next on the list is Chris. I believe you're in Western Australia, from what I'm aware.
Let's see. Testing.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, excellent.
Hi, Chris.
So I'm Chris. I'm from Western Australia, actually Kalgoorlie. So just a little bit in from Perth. Yeah, actually work in the retail industry, and I signed up for this group, and then I don't really have a current idea, but I'm actually tending towards an idea that's more applicable to the other set of group. So you'll probably see me next week, actually.
Okay, that's fine. You'll have to let us know that you want to change groups because it's a different meeting number, so you've actually got to go to a different link.
Yeah. I've already emailed and had a response from Judy.
Oh, okay, yep.
She's already updated everything there.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, thanks, Chris. May see you in the other one. And Diego next. Are you there, Diego? Welcome.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Diego Jaimes. I am from Bogota, Colombia. I am an electronic engineer, currently working as IoT engineer. About my idea, it's related to a sensitive cargo supervisor. I'm thinking in a device dedicated for high-value assets to avoid problems during the transportation. So I have in mind different network protocols supporting different models and sensors. That's my idea so far.
Okay, that sounds good. One of the people that will be able to help you more than likely with this is Savash. His work with measuring human movement involves intensive use of inertial measurement units, and this may be a worthwhile way of monitoring the packages, looking for vibration, shock, acceleration, falls, knocks, that sort of thing. And he'd be the guy to talk to about which ones to use, how to actually talk to them, etc.
Great, thanks.
Thanks, Diego. We've got Hannes on the list next. Are you there now, Hannes, or shall we?
I am there. I was here before. I just couldn't hear anything,
Okay.
unfortunately. It's working now, more or less.
Oh, Ian did introduce you briefly. I don't know if you'd like to say hello.
Oh, I think you better do a proper one because I probably didn't do a decent job of it. Hannes is one of our other advisors, so we'll let him have a little introduction. Off you go, Hannes.
Yeah, hi. I'm Hannes. I'm also from Curtin. I'm involved in the computing area, so it's a bit different area from many of the other advisors. I'm a bit of a mathematics background, logic, artificial intelligence, and I look after a lot of projects and stuff like that at the university as well. I haven't had a lot to do directly with IoT, but it's been involved in a fair few projects that use various bits and pieces around that. So the whole thing seems rather interesting.
But Hannes is really our programming, along with Val, expert, and we'll be able to help you with any database setup as well as the algorithmic side of things.
Yeah, definitely the algorithms. You'll probably find that on sheer programming, Valerie's better than I am, but I do know a bit about databases, and certainly algorithm design is something I can actually do, and like AI, if you want to talk about that sort of thing.
Great. Thanks, Hannes.
Thank you.
Next on the list, we have James. Are you there, James? Your microphone looks to be muted. There you go. It looks unmuted, but we still can't hear you at this point.
Can you hear me now?
That's better.
Yep, we got you.
Okay, great. All right, thanks. All right, so my name is James. I'm in South Africa. I'm working in the broadcast industry, although my idea was literally born out of a situation that happened to myself with a vehicle recently. So my idea really is I would like to send telemetry data from a vehicle into the cloud and store it. And purely, I'm trying to use this as a learning experience. And one of the ideas that I had, because I've recently had an introduction into AWS IoT, I'm quite keen on using that platform. So if possible, that's what I'd like to do.
Okay, that's a good start of things to be looking at. I think I might have mentioned to you that we've now become an AWS Academy at Curtin as well, and I'll look into, if you need it, getting you access to the student cloud, which gives you, I think, from memory, 200 hours free.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Ian.
All right, thanks, James. Next we have, is it Kayo or Kayo?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hello.
Okay, my name is Kayo. I'm from Brazil, but I'm in Japan. I studied mechatronics in Brazil and agriculture in Japan. So the focus on the idea I have is kind of a surveillance on the crops. So using cameras to, well, detect if wild animals or people are coming inside of the farm itself, and also, if it is possible, also use the cameras to get the health of the crops itself. That's basically the idea I have right now.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep, sounds good.
Thanks, Kayo. Yeah, next, Kiati. Are you there? Hello, Kiati? No, maybe not. We'll come back and ask later, maybe. Now, Nayiri, you were having some problems with audio before. Are you there? No, a few more technical issues.
If they can hear me, send me an email and I'll try and set up a one-on-one WebEx session just to walk through the process to make sure that's all okay. So if you can hear me, please send me an email and I'll set up a one-on-one. And that goes for anyone else who's having trouble or setting up your email and something out.
All right, and you can also type in the chat window if that's if we're not hearing your audio. Is the other option. So next analyst, Sana. Hello, Sana.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, we've got you.
Hello.
Welcome.
Yes, my name is Sana Sabah. I'm from Iraq. I am a computer engineer and I am a lecturer at University of Information Technology and Communication. I don't have a specific idea, but I am a mother for a cerebral palsy child, 3 years old, and I really wish I can work with some IoT device, something has related with the cerebral palsy. I talked with Professor Ian Mori, and he told me that Sivash, I guess, he also working on area related to this subject. And I really wish I can work with this area.
I'm sure we can arrange that, and if Sivash is able to speak, he'll have a word a bit later on if he likes. One of the things I was thinking is, if you think of your situation and what would you like to be able to monitor with your child while you're not there. So start thinking about what would affect your life, your ease of care, if it was anything that could be invented. And basically we can work from there. So try and do something that's actually useful and something that will help in either your quality of life or your child's quality of life.
Well, I have this problem. He's sometimes while he's sleeping, he has this seizure. It only came to him only if he's sleeping, and when he's sleeping, we have to still awake for really late at night and just to monitor him. It's really, it would be very helpful if I can work with some devices to monitor him or Actually, I can't leave him by himself. So it would be great if I work with device like that.
Well, that's certainly a good idea, and I think we can move that forward, and Sebastian will be there to help you out with those sort of sensors and connectors. I like talking to Sebastian for lots of work.
Okay, only I have one question. When's the time when we can ask a question after all introduce themselves?
Yeah, we'll have a question and answer immediately after we just run through this quick little.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very
section.
much. Thank you.
And next on the list we have Tech Aksa.
Hi everyone, can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm from the East Coast at Sydney right now. Currently work in the transportation industry and a few ideas floating around, but I was probably thinking something that triggers my asthma or hay fever. So just something on air quality measurement that is highly portable that you can sort of connect to your mobile phone, something on those lines.
Okay. It's certainly possible. There are particle sensors and those sort of things that we can probably look at. One thing I'd be very interested in seeing is not just sensing the current situation, but also look at the other associated information. So, for example, if it's a fine sunny day with the wind blowing in from in your case, from the west, bringing pollen and dust into the city, that may actually increase your chance of having a hay fever or asthma attack or whatever it happens to be. And you could get that information from the Weather Bureau, for example, and you can start to predict what the possible hay fever symptoms are going to be like, given weather patterns and other information you can gather from the internet. And that really brings the predictive part of the IoT into the picture, and that's what makes it really, really interesting. Not just an automated sensor or actuator network, but being able to make predictions based on the data that you're gathering.
Okay, yep, no point taken, yep, thanks.
All right, great, thanks. Now, Siavash has informed me his audio, his microphone is working. Hello, Siavash.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we've got you now.
All right, okay. Yeah, I think there was some issue when I was connecting a Bluetooth speaker to the computer. There was no audio. Yet some people might have the same trouble. So I switched to a wired one. Anyway, hi everyone. I'm Siavash. I'm from Curtin as well, as Ian has given me a quick introduction as well. I'm lecturing some units for Ian, so mostly in embedded systems, microcomputers, microcontrollers, and my personal research focuses on assistive technology. I'm working with children with cerebral palsy. So if you had any questions regarding working with small sensors, embedded systems, communication between microcontrollers, and that sort of area, I would be the guy to ask, and I look forward to working with you.
And PCB layout, don't forget.
Of course, PCB layout.
Yeah.
And that's a new area that I'm recently focusing on because one of the IMU devices I have to build. And Sana, I did write a quick response to you. Had a couple of questions. And hopefully after the introductions, we can talk about your questions a bit more detail to kind of give you an idea of where you can focus your research on.
Thanks, Siavash. We've got a couple more people, but we've got the message from Nairi, who is having the audio microphone problems, from Lebanon, and a student willing to work in biomedical application. So we'll hopefully get a chance to hear from Nairi later on. And Vijay Kumar next on the list. Are you there?
Hi.
Hello.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Go ahead.
Hello.
Maybe.
Yeah, hi. I'm Vijay Kumar Bhatia. Basically, I'm from India, but I'm resident in Dubai at present. And my idea basically is a smart irrigation system IoT, catering to the problem basically of scarcity of water, maybe in some areas excessive irrigation due to flooding or some other problems like soil quality, detection of the temperature, soil pH levels. And also I have another idea of basically trying to connect the quality of the crops grown to a blockchain system and confirm the quality to the for the procurement.
Okay. It's an interesting problem. We have someone else in the morning session that was planning to work on irrigation, smart irrigation as well. So it may be worth linking up with them. I'm not quite sure where they're from.
Yeah, sure.
But anyway, but there's lots of things you can do with the water quality. Again, as I mentioned previously, you can start looking at the local weather bureau information to see if rain is coming up, what the temperature is going to be. If it's going to be a hot day, you can add extra water. When you start to look at the crop itself, you can measure soil acidity, the pH level, salinity of the soil itself, salinity of the water, turbidity of the water. So how clear is the water? Is it muddy, salty? Are there other contaminants in it? Josh actually set up a nice little experiment on measurement of water quality some time ago, and I'm sure he'd be able to help you out with some of the sensors there.
Okay, and what about the add-on which I'm planning, that is the quality of the crops grown to the procurement of the crops?
Yeah, the blockchain would be handy for the, I think what they term the paddock to plate. So the tracking of food to ensure that your food is safe and secure. So you know if you're buying non-GMO and organic bread, you can trace it all the way back to the farm where it's grown on, and that farm has the certification saying its grain was GMO-free and organically grown. And the way you could secure that is through blockchain. So it's certainly something worth looking at. More as an extension, I think, because it's not really a blockchain for women. But we could look at how you could do the blockchain as a side project on it.
Okay. Okay, I have another question. How much is the technical content I would need to go into as compared to the business?
I'm going to get to that, but very briefly is the choice is yours. But I will mention that in the next slide, I think.
Okay. Right. Okay, thank you.
Thanks for that. And last but not least, we have Wutajai. Is that correct? Are you there?
Yes, Wutajai here.
Yes, we can hear you. Welcome.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Good evening, maybe good morning and good afternoon to everyone. Okay, my name is Wutajai from Bangkok, Thailand. So currently I'm working for some of the electronics household company and look after IT operation for country in Southeast Asia. Okay. I have some background on Azure IoT, but to be honest, currently I have no concrete idea about the project yet. But I'm interested in a remote monitoring system or a kind of preventive maintenance. So if you can suggest something about that particular application, then I would be welcome.
What industry did you say you're working in? You're in the IT side, but what industry?
Actually, it's electronic household appliance. For example, refrigerator, a vacuum cleaner, something like that. So we have factory here in Thailand, but it's located at another location, another province. Yeah.
Okay, well, there's an awful lot we can do there, because if you have a bit of a search on something termed Industry 4.0 or Industrial IoT, IoT, the monitoring of factories and equipment is a crucial matter. Again, something similar to the gas processing plant I mentioned. The idea is that you monitor conveyor belts and the robots, or even the screwdriver, the air-powered screwdriver that they're using, and look for faults before they appear. So things don't actually break anymore. They're repaired, or maintenance is performed on them so they don't break. And you could pick a range of devices, a limited range, within that factory, and work out how you can sense when the bearings are wearing out, or if there's an air leak, and other aspects of it, and get those things fixed before they actually cause you a production problem.
Okay. Also, I heard about connected factory.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly is mean connected factory. If you can maybe briefly.
Yeah, I think what that term meant, I may be wrong because it's not something I've heard a great deal of, is that Industry 4.0, where we start to have everything is monitored. It's all connected. Everything within the factory is connected to the internet. So you can see what parts you have. So if you're building vacuum cleaners, you'll know exactly how many motors you have in stock, how long it takes to get the stock, and when you reach a point where you know you're going to run out if you don't order immediately, the factory itself will talk to the motor factory and ask for the motors that are required to keep running long enough to keep production running. And it means that you're not holding any stock. So the factories will order the parts they need just in time to complete the manufacture. And as the stock level falls down so that you're going to run out fairly soon, the factory itself will call the motor factory and order more. So all the factories are talking to each other without human intervention.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Great, thanks everybody. I don't think there's anyone else that we missed there other than technical problems, which we'll speak to later. But there's next to your name on the participants list, you see there's a raise hand button there on the screen. So for the rest of the time, if you would like to raise your hand using that button, and I can let Ian know that you have something to say or ask. I'll pass it back to Ian now.
Okay, we've got someone call-in user 5. Bit of background noise there, but okay. So the purpose of these meetings from now on will be very simply to ask questions. We want you to drive the conversations. We don't want to be talking at you, as I said, for an hour. It really should be a discussion on what you're up to, what you need help with. In that way, either the advisors or your peers can help you out with them. So we want you to meet your teammates. We want you to propose an idea that's both ambitious and creative. Don't be shy about saying you're going to create this wonderful new product that's going to do everything from make you breakfast in the morning to pick your kids up from school. If you can be creative, we can always cut back on an idea, but it's better to start with the big idea and what you would hopefully want to get to in the end. When we start going through the actual design process or the specification process, we'll start to cut it down into the major feature sets. So you'll have a set of features that will be absolutely essential for your device to be successful. You'll have a set of features which extend it to something that you would like it to do and would be really nice to have those features. And then finally, you'll have some stretch goals. What would be really nice but probably can't be implemented at this point? Okay, and we'll work from that sort of level. Start on the basic, extend it if you get time, and then look at what could be done in the future. Now, to answer the question on is this technical or is this a business proposal, it's whichever you want. We've got a wide range of people in this course. There's 80 students. I think, is that still 80, Josh, or are we 81 now? Anyway, so we've got a fairly large number of students for this style of online course. And not everyone's going to be technical, and that's not a problem. If you're going to do a technical project, we would like to see at the end you've got at least a simulation of your prototype up and running. If you've got the resources, perhaps you can get a physical prototype up and running. However, if it's an idea that you have and you're not a technical person, what we'd like to get you to the stage of being able to do is take your idea, run the pitch in a similar way to the video you're going to produce for us fairly shortly, that you can take to a engineering firm or a firm that would handle manufacture, say, this is my idea, this is the specifications, this is the requirements, now build it for me. Okay, but approaching from a business perspective, but to have the language and the knowledge so that you can tell the builders and the engineers what you need done. So either way, technical, business, commercial, or even artistic if you're heading down that track, any of those would be perfectly suitable. Right, so what we'd like you to do is start thinking about the requirements if you've got your, idea a little bit set in your mind. So start thinking about what you require it to do in those three stages. Absolutely essential, what would be nice, and what is your stretch goal at the end. Make a list of questions both for your team members that you can use in the Teams boards, which you should all be joining up in at the moment, but also for the advisors themselves, and you can send those via email or hold off until the next session. I think that was about all I wanted to say there, and we're running out of time, but we want to have a bit of a discussion if people have any questions. So I'll finish it at that point, but Josh, if you can handle the question and answer, we'll see if anyone's got something they want to ask.
Yes, has anyone got a question for at the moment? If you click raise your hand or type in the chat.
There was a couple there, Texachar and Sana.
Okay, I must have missed it then.
I got an alert on my screen.
Oh, okay.
Just what sort of simulation tools can we use?
You can use any simulation tool that you like. We can't give you access to anything that is not free except for Packet Tracer. What were you thinking of simulating?
I actually got into Tinkercad, but it doesn't have a large variety of sensors or anything that we could actually put in. So just wondering if there's a tool out there, free or otherwise, where you could actually put in a variety of sensors and everything to get it working.
Generally not free. What you can do is you simulate the simulation. So if you've got a kind of sensor that would normally give you an analog voltage out, all you do is you put in a resistor, a variable resistor, name it whatever sensor you want to do, and then manually adjust the variable resistor to simulate what you would be getting from the sensor itself. So if you can't physically find a sensor within Tinkercad, just make one up using resistors or digital switches, those sort of things.
Okay, yep, thanks.
Yes, I might not be able to see the raised hands, it turns out. I think, Ian, you must be able to see those.
Oh, okay. So we had Sana and someone else just did it, but I missed the name.
Okay.
Hang on.
Sana, are you next? Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I have a question to Professor Ian Mori and Sivaj. When he sent me an email and he told me that we can discuss an idea about IoT device for cerebral palsy area, and I really want to have a clear idea on what I will do. So I just want to start working because we are now on week 2, and I really wish I can do a prototype for this 12 weeks.
Okay.
I really wish I can do that.
Probably the best thing to do is think about what you want to monitor. It's body temperature, blood pressure, heart rate. It's all kinds of things that you can monitor.
No,
Which?
No, with my experience with the cerebral palsy child, the monitoring with these, I don't think it's very important. Maybe evaluate their movement development will be better, because with cerebral palsy we always make them on physiotherapy, and we want some device tell us the progressive in their movement. My son with the physiotherapy, he had the progressive with his head control, then he with his ability to sit and so on.
Okay, that's very much what Savash is doing, concentrating on the wrist at the moment, the therapy with wrist. So you're probably best talking to Savash separately to go through the details of how he's measuring wrist movement, and you can identify which particular movement you want to track from therapy.
Okay.
What part are you looking to improve? And then we can start building a way of measuring that movement.
Okay.
Monitoring that movement and seeing if there's any change.
Just to add to the conversation, you had suggested building a prototype sensor. I would just add to what Ian was saying. Focusing on building the sensor, think of, okay, what's the information we're getting from the sensor? It would be can even just use off-the-shelf IMU devices or just the IMU on a phone or something, because pretty much IMU devices are the gyroscope, accelerometer, and magnometer. And then it doesn't matter if you're connecting them to a wrist or connecting them if you rather focus on the head movement. What matters is, okay, how you're going to actually analyze this information, how you're going to convert the acceleration gyroscope to angular velocity, to degrees in movement, and the area I think you could focus on. If you wanted to focus on something, I guess that would lead to faster result would be, because we also need someone to work on the phone app that's doing the communication between the IMU device and the phone. So building the interface, synchronizing the data, so working on the communication between the actual IMU sensor and the phone app and that sort of thing.
Okay, I only have also one question. Is there any possibility I can directly talk with Sivash, not by IoT Capstone email, because maybe you received a lot of emails and maybe he has no time, or maybe email just go with so many emails. So is there any possibility so I can directly connect with the person that will help me with my idea?
That's up to you, Savash.
Sure, I don't mind. I'll send you an email.
Okay, thank you.
Email, so
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, we had someone that says they can't find the hand in the chat box somewhere. Looking for the chat box.
Right next to I think the name, their username, not in the chat box.
Yeah, I'm looking for the chat box. I can't actually see it at the moment.
Maybe different on some platforms. That's Nairi, and she also wants, or he or she wants to speak with Sivash as well on a biomedical application, but that's the person who was having microphone problems, so we've got an email there. We'll get onto that as well. But also, Ian, a question from Vijay Kumar asking, what are the expectations regarding project management? Is it related to commercialization of the idea?
It can be, but it's more the next stage. So in most cases, yes, it would be the commercialization. So you have to come up with a project plan of how you would go into a commercialization stage. If the project's very complex, then it would be a project plan for the research going into the device that you're making. So it's really looking at how we would manage a project either in research or commercialization. As I said, it depends very much on the complexity of your topic, and we will be running through and we'll have some examples of that as we go along. One thing I will mention on the videos that are up on edX, they are there to assist you in creating the documents that we're going to require for assessment later on. They're fairly general project management, they're fairly general on the intellectual property issues and those sort of things. but they are there to assist you in completing your requirements. Nice music in the background.
Yes.
Right. Has anybody else got a question at the moment? Once again, Ian, I can't see the raised hands, it seems. We'll have to
No, there's
sort it out
only
for next
Samus,
time.
and we've got that one.
Yes. Okay.
So, hello?
Can I ask my question?
Yes.
You can.
Who is that?
Okay. Only I have this question. When through the edX website, they say that this MicroMaster will give us 100 credit, and we can this is a pathway for taking a master degree from Curtin University. Is this that's right? I mean, this is a true information. Can we use this MicroMaster online master degree?
No, it's on-campus master's degree at this point.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay.
And yes, you get 100 credit points. If you have a engineering degree, you get 100 credit points into the 2-year masters. If you don't have an engineering degree and you want to get one, you get 100 credit points credit into the 3-year program, which covers the Engineers Australia accreditation as well. So it gives you the professional engineering status over a 3-year program, but of course you get 1 semester off. If you're looking at the commerce, they changed the name of it recently, the Innovation and Commercialisation Master's degree at the Business School, it's a straight 1 semester off their 2-year program. Okay, is there any other questions?
Yes.
Got a question?
All right, well, we'll wind up.
We had someone has a question, I just heard. Was someone just saying they had a question?
Can see any hands.
Might have missed it.
Okay, do you want to just check the chat box, make sure there's nothing in there?
I think James might have had a question.
Oh, okay. Did he type something?
Yeah, I did. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes.
Oh, thanks. Sorry, we missed that.
Yes, James, go ahead.
I've got his question here. I want to contact Savash so that he can help me define my project topic. Yes, I'm sure if you want to email Savash, we will put his name in the subject line. He'll know it's for him. And, excuse me.
So that's not James. It's.
I think that's Nairi.
Yeah, it's Nairi.
Oops, I've done the wrong one.
Yeah, James, I don't think your microphone was working again. Just try. It worked briefly.
Yeah.
There we go. We've got you now.
You got me now. Okay, sorry about that.
That's okay.
So my question really was if we can get not necessarily a prototype, but if we can get a sort of simulation mock-up working with, Ian said earlier, possibly if you haven't got sensors, a mock-up of the sensors working on breadboard, how do we present that in the project? Do we just take photos of it and, for the purposes of evaluating what we've done?
You can video it, or you can do screen capture if it's all in simulation. We have this all the time with our local students. If they build a prototype in their project unit, it's quite often very, very fragile. So if they move it from their home or the workshop into the presentation venue, it ceases to work. So we tell them, make a video. Show us it working as it was laid out. We can see that everything is good and okay, and then show us the video. And if it's still working, well, then we can have a look at it in person, but video is great.
Great, thank you very much.
Okay.
For me?
All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming along. Hopefully everyone will be able to work out how to get the video and audio working for next fortnight's meeting. But please try and make a list of questions, things that you would like to know that we can go through during the next meeting. And it'll just help us progress things the way you want them to go rather than the way we think they should go. And we really do want to make this an interactive experience, somewhat different to most online courses. Any questions, as I said, email us. We'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can. Generally within 2 working days, maybe quicker in a lot of cases. And if you don't hear from us in 2 days, email us again to bring it to the top of our list. Okay, thank you everyone. Good night, good morning, good evening, whatever. And we'll see you in 2 weeks, and don't hesitate to contact us if you have any questions. Oh, and I'll post the recording fairly shortly once I've done the editing on it.
Sorry, Ian, a quick question from me. So for the people who wanted to have a quick separate conversation with me, should I set that up myself, or do you rather have it set up through the WebEx?
You set it up yourself if you like, or you can do it through WebEx. You've got a staff account,
okay.
So you can set up your own private or your own personal room.
Okay.
If you want to use WebEx, or use Skype or Zoom or anything else you like.
Okay, sure. Cheers. So, because I have some free time right now, if Fana and Nairi wanted to discuss because they seem to have a couple of questions with choosing what they wanted to do with their project, I can set something up in Zoom.
Yeah, if you set something up, because we'll lose this meeting room in a few minutes.
Okay, sure.